I thought it'd be fun for us today to work on some monsters. It's gonna be fun to come up with unique and fun ideas. So the first thing I would like you to do is to pick a line to put around the side of your paper. That's called a border. One of the nice things about using a darker paper is that some of these brighter colors show up really well. I like to do a broken line. It's easy for me to keep it close to the sides of my paper. So then I've got plenty of space in the middle for my monster. So I'm gonna keep this line going, trying to keep it pretty straight. Sometimes I'm going back and forth on the line a little bit just to press it on good. And I'll continue working my way around the edges. You don't have to go real fast, take your time, show your best. And we'll go up along here. Once your border is done, then you can start making your monster. You don't have to use this idea, but I saw a student think of this idea the other day and I thought this is kind of fun. So I'm gonna use my hand kind of as an example here. I'm not gonna trace my hand exactly. I'm gonna just trace kind of lightly around it. One of the reasons I'm doing the pencil is so that I can kind of just get a light shape. And if you want to use a different shape, you can totally can. You probably can't see this line very much right now, and that's okay, because I'm gonna do it with a color instead. So if you do want to use your hand, you could, but you could use a circle, you could use a triangle, you could use a rectangle. It's really up to you. So I'm gonna use this, and then where I did trace that, you can see that I'm gonna press it on pretty hard using my finger muscles and just trace that line around. So the only part you need the pencil for would be if you do that. If you do a different shape, you don't have to do any pencil. I just find it easier to do it with pencil in case you make a mistake. Sometimes when you're using a color, if you were to trace your hand, you might make a mistake and then you can't really erase it very well. So this is, I thought, was fun because he used this shape to create the face for his monster. So I'm gonna do some eyes here. And I'm gonna have 5 eyes on that monster. And then I'm gonna put that color back and I'm gonna put a little bit of white inside them so it looks like it has a little bit of a circle inside the eye. And then I'm gonna use, I'm gonna put that back in the box. Let's make a silly nose for him. So I'm gonna do some horns up here. And then I'm gonna do a silly mouth. He's gonna have his mouth open so I can fit some teeth and things in there. Maybe I'm gonna give him a little beard too, because he's a furry monster. That could be fun. And then I'm gonna switch back to some white to do these horns, make those stand out. And then I'm gonna do some teeth. They could be sharp teeth. I'm gonna do rounded teeth for him. And then we'll color those in white on the black paper. And then you can see I've used a lot of white and blue. Don't be afraid to use some other colors. Maybe I'm gonna switch over now to doing a little bit of red. So I could do maybe a tongue with some red. And then I think I'm gonna do some lips also with some red. You're gonna spend a lot of time working on this. I'm trying to go a little bit quickly so you guys have more work time. But I was thinking to myself, if I did a color here for the nose, or I gave my monster a color for the his hair or fur, I was thinking too, it could be cool to do some ears maybe, that would be fun. I'm gonna do some hair on him. He's gonna have some furry hair on the top of each of these, which I think could be cool. And then I'm gonna stick with this color to do his fuzzy beard. So I only have a head for this monster. One of the things I think would be kind of cool, since I only have a little bit of space left, would be to make like a tiny body on here. So he's gonna have a big head with a small body. So I'm gonna do a neck, and then I'm gonna do his body, but I wanna leave some room for his arms and his hands and his feet, and I'm gonna give him a tail too, but you could have a tail, you could have wings, you could have really whatever you want. I'm gonna have him have some big feet down here. And one thing that I love to do when I'm making monsters is to think about how I could have a pattern maybe, which would be something that repeats. So I was thinking, well, let's switch to a color I haven't used. Let's use this, this blue, but you can see this darker blue doesn't show up quite as good, where some of these brighter colors like this one shows up a lot better. So I might do straight, straight, zigzag, zigzag, and then we would come back and make it straight, straight, and then do zigzag, zigzag to finish the pattern. And just fit that in there. So I still have quite a bit more to do on this one, but I drew one ahead of time for you to see. This one has a little more done. It's a little more carefully done. So you can see that I gave a color to the hands. I put some dots on his tail. I did some color mixing where I did like a dark blue and a light blue. I did that up here too. So you can always add a little more color. I even added where it was straight line, zigzag line, zigzag line. I added a little bit of white. So it's dark blue, light blue, and white. So it's like dark blue, light blue, white, dark blue, light blue, white. So please have fun working on these. I think these monsters will turn out really great. Everybody's is gonna be different, so please use your imagination.